So please stay with us, and we're really pleased to start the programme with good news tonight. It is the heartwarming story of the man from Chorley who saved the life of someone who lived thousands of miles away, an American man that he'd never even met.
Yeah, Alex Christopher signed on to the Stem Cell Donor Register to try to help his friend Pete McLeave from Cheshire. He wasn't a match for Pete, but on the programme tonight we'll hear how Pete is full of praise for Alex and says it shows how important it is for more people to sign up. We'll have more on that later.
Yeah, but for Alex, it has been quite a day. He has now saved someone's life, someone who today became a face, a voice and a real person for him, as Mel Barham reports.
There we go.
There you are.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
Good.
This is the first time Alex and Patrick have ever met, and yet Alex saved Patrick's life.
I honestly do not know what to say right now. I'm so speechless.
Yeah, no. First thing I'm gonna say is thank you so much. I don't think I would have had my birthday the other day if it weren't for you.
Mate, honestly, it's my absolute privilege and pleasure.
It all began back in 2018 when Alex signed up to be a stem cell donor to try and help his friend Pete. Alex wasn't a match for him, but he was for someone else. But all he knew was his recipient was a man in his 50s or 60s in America.
I was in the middle of like a busy shopping centre and they told me on the phone. I was like trying to find a seat to sit down, sort of take it in, because it's the biggest thing I've ever heard in my life. So yeah, honestly, I'll never forget that day.
Patrick, who lives in Boston, Massachusetts, had been diagnosed with an aggressive blood cancer and given just a 3% chance of survival. Thanks to Alex's stem cell donation, he's now cancer-free and in remission.
I mean, I keep thinking, Alex, like, what if you didn't do it? I'm grateful. I thank you. You're like now a brother for me, and you saved my life. I love you. You saved my life.
Strict confidentiality means donors and recipients are only offered the chance of making contact after 2 years have passed. Despite the thousands of miles that separate them, they both wanted to meet. And today, a name on a piece of paper finally became a face, a voice, a real person.
I had trouble sleeping last night, just being excited to meet you today. And I feel I'm finding myself getting a little emotional. I don't think people realize what they can do to help somebody. I mean, I have a family, and I don't think it would be possible if it weren't for you.
It's the least I could do. People don't really appreciate the power that they've got to do something like this. And I think people still worry that it's such a hard undertaking and there's so much inconvenience and pain and stuff, but it's really, really not.
Alex's donation was very similar to just giving blood. To get on the donor register, it was a simple cheek swab. And the charity who made the whole thing happen, DKMS, had a simple message for anyone watching.
Take that really, really simple step to get onto the register. It's just 3 swabs, on your cheek. It's not difficult to do. Alex, you've given Patrick, a second chance at life, which is just an amazing thing to do based on something that's really, really simple.
What was that like for you just now, speaking to Alex and meeting him for the first time?
It's hard. He saved my life. And, what can I say? I love the guy now.
I'm still speechless. I don't know. I feel so close to him now. And just to see him for the first time there and see him doing so well, just really hammered home the magnitude of what I've done.
I feel I need to do what I can to help your friend. So I'm going to give you my commitment to do what I can to try and get as many donors in the States to see if we can find a match for your friend Peter.
That'd be amazing. I don't know if you realize you changed my life. You gave me a purpose and something to say that I've achieved.
I wish I could give you a hug right now. But...
Same.
They're already planning when they can meet in person. In the meantime, they're hoping their story will inspire many others to sign up to become donors too.
Well, Pete, I found that incredibly emotional to watch. What was that like for you?
I kind of assumed I would know what my reaction would be, but every single word exchanged between the pair of them just hit home in such a... I didn't quite expect the reaction. I felt literally tingling as I'm listening to the interview and seeing a picture of Patrick when he was unwell and recognising that personally, to contemplating the message that he would have received a couple of years ago where they said, yeah, you've got your stem cell donor match. And knowing that comes full circle back to what Alex did when he signed up to become a stem cell donor, it just brings the reality of that situation home. Alex has saved that man's life.
If it hadn't been for you, none of this would be happening, but we still need to find you a match.
I always hope I will get that phone call. Whenever I meet with my consultant at the Christie, I'm waiting for him just to lean over and give me some news, but I'm also open to the reality that it's very, very hard to find a match for someone who's from a minority ethnic background, my background being Macanese, Chinese, Portuguese. So I've made peace with that.
We really want to help that happen as well. I mean, are there certain areas that you can target to try and find that match?
My background, my family's background from Southeast Asia. There is a better chance within the Chinese, Portuguese communities, and the Macanese communities where they are.
So can we start this in China?
If it were possible and we could get people swabbing down there more openly, absolutely. Down in Macau, the island of Macau, that's where my family hail from, and to do some work down there would be phenomenal.
Can you believe how it has taken off?
No, it's beyond my own expectation. 10,000 donors was always, it was only ever an arbitrary target anyway, but it was set because I was told that 10,000 would be a very unlikely target to achieve within a certain period of time, like a year. Well, what we actually need are hundreds of thousands of people, because roughly speaking, for every 4,000 people who signed up to our campaign, one has gone on to donate. So to date, we know we've had over 90,000 people register, and 17 of those have gone on to become stem cell donors for patients like Patrick.
Do you see it as a race against time for you?
Yeah. I was given a 7-year prognosis 5 years ago, so I'm at the pointy end of my prognosis right now, and it brought home every birthday for my two boys. Yeah, so I'm aware of it, but I'm also optimistic that it's beatable.
And we know that there could be somebody watching tonight, or someone who knows somebody who could be the match that you need.
Undoubtedly. And one thing which has become apparent to me is the power of network. And we're all more connected than we ever have been, for good and bad. We all have friends, we all have families, we all have social connections, social media connections as well. And what I'm trying to push with my campaign, 10,000 donors, is just the idea that, you tell one person and they might tell another and they might tell another.
And it's bringing Alex and Patrick together, isn't it?
Yeah. Alex's genetic twin is a guy in Boston. They've never met. I mean, as far as I know, there's no direct family connection there. And lo and behold, there's his genetic twin sitting on the other side of a Zoom call. And you could see the emotion that Patrick was expressing there, because it means that much. It is life and death.
And Pete, just how easy is it to register?
Registering is very, very simple. You take one of the swabs that we're very well acquainted with since COVID, but instead of shoving it up our noses, you'll have 3 delivered to you by Charity DKMS. Swab the inside of your left cheek, swab the inside of your right cheek, and then the third one just around your mouth. Once they've dried, you pop them back in the prepaid envelope, post it back to charity, and within 6 weeks, you will be registered as a potential lifesaver.
Easy as that.
Easy as that.
Well worth it. Pete, thanks so much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, what a lovely guy. If you'd like more information about how you can help, head to our website where you can find a link to Pete's campaign, the usual address, itv.com/Granada.
And please try to help spread that word. What a great man he is.